Well, Barbie has proven to be anything she wants to be, including a professional hockey player. In a series of social media posts today, the PWHL shared a new partnership with Barbie and Tim Hortons. The most diverse doll on the shelves continues to empower youth to dream their biggest dreams. The PW shared that $5 of every Barbie purchase would be donated to the Grindstone Award Foundation, which helps girls overcome financial barriers to play hockey. The pair of dolls are inspired by PW superstar Sarah Nurse and legendary Marie Philip Poulin. The Barbie dolls are $34.99 and can be purchased by clicking on a link to our website. The purchase includes a pink hockey uniform, stick, helmet, puck, and skates. You just add that to your list for things to get Lila, Dan.
I'm sorry, I should. PWHL is doing a nice job growing the sport. That's what one of the big goals is.
For sure. I mean, I always say you have to, in order to be it, you have to see it. And so I love that they're showing those examples every single day.
Very good. Thank you, Alexis. Before